Before I was in 4Kids, I was in this program called SOL's Children's Village, and I was aging out. So I got a chance to actually be in 4Kids at the age of 18. I was actually one of the first girls in the girls' house. So, and that's around the same time me and Miss D actually started the program when I was 18 at 4Kids. And what I can say is, it was such an amazing experience just to be a part of 4Kids and the house and meeting the amazing people that were there. And I just had such a great experience just being a part of 4Kids, just being in the whole environment, meeting the wonderful women that lived there with me, being a part of just everybody. I just loved it. I just had a great experience. It changed me because I always have a foundation to go back on, because I think for me, and I dealt with a lot of children, a lot of kids in the foster care system, sometimes they don't have a foundation to go back to if they fall short, and someone to hold you accountable. I know that if there's something that's going on with me, I can call Miss D, you know what I'm saying? I can speak with her and let her know what's going on with me. She can be that anchor to kind of lift me up out of the situation, remind me of who I am, and remind me that, okay, you don't have to go back, just continue to move forward into your life, and she's been a great mentor and a friend for me in my life, and to have someone to go back to who was there in the beginning with me, that's the best. I learned a sense of union because people who were volunteering and spending time at 4Kids, they genuinely cared about you. They wanted you to do well. They wanted you to excel in whatever it is that you wanted to do. I had a sense of family. That was like my second family from the family I already have. And I just made some amazing relationships when I was there. Amazing relationships I still have to this day, just being a part. So it was definitely a great place for relationships, learning how to build relationships and keep them, and love, and just genuine companionship, just being with the people that were there to help mentor you and help you bring you out of whatever situation you was going through at the time. So it's a close place in my heart. Right now I'm a hairstylist, I'm a cosmetologist, I do actually hair and makeup, so right now I do a lot of traveling here and there, and I've been blessed, and I want to bless. What I like to say to you is thank you for being such a big part of my life, for being someone that I can hold on to and know that I can always come back to, know that I can always come back to that foundation that was built for me, and that I'm just so indebted to you guys for being such a great influence in my life. And I want to be able to influence others as much as you guys influence me. So I want to say thank you for the love, thank you for the friendship, thank you for the journey, just thank you for the commitment that you guys have put into 4Kids and put into me as an individual and everybody who was involved in 4Kids. So thank you so much. I love you with all my heart. I'm just looking forward to the many years of this. I'm so excited. Thank you.
My new family is Pastor Mike and Judith Rust of Calvary Boca, and I moved in with them about 10 years ago, and ever since then completely changed my life. Went from fighting all the time, having bad anger, and having no one to tell me what's the right thing to do in my life, to having a pastor as a dad and having all the answers almost all the time and leading me towards Christ every day. The main impact that 4Kids has had on my life is it took me from foster homes that didn't care about the kids and really just had awful parents, and it took me into a 4Kids home that had awesome parents, took the kids to church, and that's what got me saved 11 years ago. And there was no way that I'd be where I am today without 4Kids home. Now, after graduating high school and still in college, I work here at Fort Lauderdale campus, and I'm the main camera operator in the sanctuary. I follow Doug on the tight shots, and then if I'm not doing that, I'll be on stage with the camera, filming the tight close-up of the guitar, the piano hands, drums, and it's really, really awesome. One of the foster homes that I was in that wasn't part of 4Kids was with this really rich lady in Coral Springs, and she didn't feel like being a foster parent anymore. So 2 days before Christmas, so she didn't have to buy me any gifts or spend time with me, she kicked me out of her house before Christmas, so I spent my Christmas at Safe Place. To those of you who have been supporting 4Kids for over 20 years now, I deeply want to say thank you very much, because you have changed my life, and we'll never know how many kids exactly your donations have made a change in. It's so many, and every single penny that has been given to 4Kids goes straight to helping all these kids in foster care. And if you knew the difference between the foster care system and 4Kids, and how much better it is, and how much I would have chosen 4Kids over any other house, thank you very much for everything that you've done.
And she was abusive until I was 9 years old, when they took me out of my mom's care and they placed me into the foster care system. I lived in many group homes. Group homes are definitely a different situation. I was definitely, like, a lot of the kids were broken, so there was a lot of bullying situations in them. And then they would send me to other foster homes. And in total, I was in 13 different foster homes. And it's so crazy because at Living Hope Church, they have these things called the bulletins, where you fill in like a prayer request. And it's weird because I've never filled it out before. I I think at the time I was 10 years old, or 11, and I never filled it out. And I really do believe to this day that it was God that took my hand and took the pen. And I put in the prayer request. I was like, pray for me as I find a new family and a new home. And my mom always tells the story and she cries. And like, if she only knew that God was doing it and I had no like control, I guess. And Jamie kept coming up to me, who's my adopted mom now. She kept coming up to me. I'm not gonna lie, I really thought she was annoying because I was very angry, and she was like, hey, my name's Jamie, and she was like always like so nice, and I was like, you know, because going through the foster care system, you build this thick skin and this wall that like you push the whole world out. You don't even think about life. You don't think about what school you're gonna go to, what college you're gonna go to. You don't think about boys. You just think about surviving. You just think about how unloved you are. And that's what I thought about in my 12th home. But I remember they were like, after 2 months of living in this home where it was very unloving, they were like, oh, this family wants to have you move in. At the time, I was still supposed to live with my mother. My biological mother was still working to get me back. But my siblings, my sister and my brother, aged out of the system at that time. And they had, I would say, weren't as lucky. They went through some harder things. My mom, Jamie, I moved into their home, and I remember the first day. My child advocate with ChildNet grabbed my bag, because when you're in foster care, everything you have has your name on it. If it doesn't have your name, you don't own it. And so I carried my one little bag into Jamie and Ivan's home, and I remember Jamie wasn't home because she was working, and I was very angry. I had completely given up. Like, if I thought I gave up in the 12th home, by the 13th home, I was angry. I hated them. I hated my parents. They were just trying to love me, and they just wanted to help me and show me God's love, and I just rejected it. When I was in 8th grade, so I would say about 13 years old, my biological mother, her rights were terminated, and my parents were asked if they wanted to adopt me, and they had said yes. And I was very confused on the whole situation in 8th grade, but I do remember them saying, like, these are going to be your parents, they're going to be your mom and your dad. And after the life that I lived, it was really hard to fathom that, like, I'm going to have a mom and a dad and a nice home. And I had accepted Christ in 6th grade, and I really came to love the Lord. It's weird because I don't even feel like the same person. I don't even feel like, I don't know, when people mention how I acted when I was 11, I kind of compare myself to my siblings a little bit. And my brother, he's homeless, and he lives under a bridge, and he's addicted to drugs. And he doesn't understand love. He doesn't understand what it's like to be loved. I'm really grateful for what God's done in my life, for the blessing, because living with my family, I think of understanding God's love more through them, because even when I was hateful, it's an unconditional kind of love. It's molded me into who I am, and I don't know who I'd be without it. I kind of think that I'd be on drugs or, putting my value in men, and not in God. So
I came to 4Kids when I was pregnant with my son Ezra. I was about 2 months pregnant, and I was just kicked out of a shelter down in Fort Lauderdale. I met with his care and play staff. I did my interview, I did the tour, and within 3 weeks I was asked to move into the house. But they definitely helped me in a way that I never thought someone could. I used to be very selfish, very stubborn, just wanted to do my own things and my own rules. And there I learned teamwork, I learned how to humble myself, how to respect others' beliefs, and just how to overall love people, even people that I don't like. Came out of his care and place when Ezra was 4 months, moved into my parents' house, and then from there I started going to school. I got a car through 4Kids actually. I got my first dream car through 4Kids, and then now I am living in my own apartment with another program called Homes Inc., and I will be starting my prerequisites for nursing this fall. And overall, life's looking pretty good. My baby's healthy, I'm healthy. We both watch church or go to church as much as we can, and we just thank Jesus for everything that he has given to us and blessed us with. And we also thank each and every person that was part of this big accomplishment in my life. So Ezra's father is not around. Him and I had a very negative, rocky relationship, and in the midst of my pregnancy, I was filled with hatred towards him. And what a lot of people from 4Kids, one of them being Ashley, she taught me to just, I have to put that into God's hands, to prioritize, budget, a little bit of couponing, things that you need as a single parent, but life skills. It's the best way to sum it up is I've learned life skills through 4Kids. And I want my son to grow up knowing that even though we had a rough kind of journey, we still did it. And even though we had a rough past and a rough path, we still lived very happy. That's because we have Jesus watching us and loving us each and every day. Before I even knew about 4Kids, I never really knew the extensity of how bad it is. And now that I know, I try my best to help anyone that I can. Let's say Ezra grows out of his clothes, I'll try to find somebody that is in need of that. So I believe 4Kids is doing a very great thing by motivating us girls in his current place to give back. And that's the best way to start with youth. That's because youth is the future. So if you teach our youth to give back and to support each and every person, then we'll be just fine. I'm extremely and beyond grateful for everyone that has been a part of my life in this journey, and they will for sure still be part of this journey, because I believe these people are with me till God decides to take me out of this earth. Like, these are family. This is mi familia, how we say. So I'm very grateful. I will never ever forget anyone, and 4Kids will always, always be in my heart. Say hi. You want to say hi? Mwah. Dale. Besito, no, besito. Mwah. Say bye. Bye.
After Safe Place, I went into his caring place, which, because I was pregnant at the time, and it was for pregnant teenagers. And so when I went into his caring place, I was still angry. I didn't really, I was kind of, okay, comfortable with people to the point that I would talk to them, but I was still to myself angry. Stay away from me. I don't need charity. I don't need your help. Get away from me. And I was assigned a birth coach there, and that's Gay Herrero, who ended up being my mom. She was introduced to me as my birth coach, and I said, no thanks, lady. I don't need charity work. I'm good. And that did not budge her. And she still kept coming back and trying to love on me and trying to take me to lunch or help me with my pregnancy in some kind of way and try to comfort me and, you know, share, you know, God's word with me as much as I would let her. Eventually, because she was so consistent in pursuing that relationship with me, because she was determined that is what the Lord wanted her to do, I gave in. We built this close friendship, and she was like the only one I would really talk to. Well, we ended up sitting down, I want to say maybe a year after they adopted my son, and they said that, you know, that they would really want me to be a part of their family. It was kind of hard pill to swallow because nobody really wanted me. My blood father would always tell me, you know, if it wasn't for your brother dying, you would never be born because, you know, your mother begged me for you. And then my mother said that, you know, she should have had her son and not me, and that I ruined her life. So when these two people that are, you know, successful people, loving people, big family-oriented, happy people want me in their life, I'm like filled with destruction. Like, I hate everybody. I've given you guys so much grief and hard times and disrespect, and you still want to ask me to be your daughter? My entire life has changed. I am nothing of who I was before. And every little thing, like my mother has taught me how to be a lady, how, you know, to sit properly, how to speak to people properly, you know, how to carry myself in public, how, you know, to love the Lord, how to be, and now I'm a mother to my 4-year-old son, how to be a mother to my child. Imagine if I would have had that old example as my only example, I would not be loving like I am with my child. I wouldn't make the sacrifices that I make to be that mom that I need to be, that the Lord has called me to be. And my father coming into the picture, he has taught me so much. He's taught me everything from my work ethic and how, you know, to carry myself, to be successful in life, to take care of my family on my own 2 feet without selling drugs or, you know, stealing and, you know, all the bad stuff that I would do before. You know, now, no, you're going to do your due diligence, CECE, and you're going to do things the right way. And if it's not going your way, then you need to stand up and look up to the sky and thank the Lord for this trial and move forward and see where he wants you to go. You're not going to give up every time things don't go your way, because that is my MO. So my dad has like taught me a lot. My father and my mother, you know, and they're the only parents that I ever had. The other ones they're just blood. Now I work for my father's business, and I'm a single mother, and I have my 4-year-old son, who I love so much, and I'll do anything for, to show him how much I love him and how much he means to me. He's gonna learn how to love. He already knows how to love. He tells me, sorry, Mommy, I love you with all my heart, all day, every day. When I was 4 years old, I was cursing people out. So that cycle is broken. I thought it was crazy before, and my parents would tell me that you have to go to the Lord for every single thing, even the littlest things in life. But I have to go to him. I have to go to him for strength, to keep me walking every day, to keep me getting up and loving no matter what happens, no matter what stupid decisions I still make, because I'm going to make stupid decisions till the day that I die. He's taught me to love others even when I don't want to, and to love as he's loved me, and he's brought people in my life to love me. And as hard as it is for me to love people, even people that are from my past that I have no choice but to see, he says, no, love on them. And continue to, and pray for them. This amazing organization that is just, it saved my life. I know a few other lives that it has saved, that are people that are part of my life forever. Thank you so much. And may God bless you guys with the ability to continue, because lives are changing every day. And there's so many lost children in this world that need the love that 4Kids has to offer, and the attention and the family, because 4Kids is a family. And a lot of people don't have a family. Teenagers, little kids, little babies. So thank you so much.